Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
After 20 years of service, Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI. Every Thursday now through October, discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for showers and storms tonight with a low around 65. Friday, more thunderstorms with a high near 71. And Saturday, partly cloudy with a high near 72. Discover perfection at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit mavericksbeef.com or find them off Lexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. Maverick's Real Roast Beef.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. So happy to have Robert Lilligren, Native American Community Development Institute CEO, back on this week. And really, we're going to have an intense talk here, all four segments with Robert if he has the capacity, because I know he's a busy guy. But a lot going on, and a lot going on with Native American Community Development Institute, too. I was just down there, too, and saw the great booklets that they're handing out, and the market happened today, and it was good to be down there and see relatives. Robert, thank you so much for coming on, as always.
Yeah, bonjour, Robert. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. Were you at the market today? I must have missed you.
Yeah, I was there for about a half hour. Yeah, I got there early. I had a pre-record I had to do at this studio out in Eden Prairie with a client, and so it was I was short-lived there, and then I was checking out what's going on at the Indian Center on the 25th. I'm going to do a live show there, and that's on your Thursday. So we're going to, for the gala there, and And I know you guys have 2 tables, so I'm gonna bring one of my portable chairs and join you. Oh,
You're always welcome. Yeah, that's a great place to start. Next Thursday is the 50th anniversary gala of our Minneapolis American Indian Center. It should be great. Originally, NACDI, our organization, was just going to take 1 table, but so many people were interested in attending, we expanded it to 2. I'm sure we could squeeze you in there, Robert, if you need a place to sit. But this is a big deal, 50 years, and folks who listen regularly probably know that we just have a new renovation and addition, and it's just spectacular. So there's a lot to celebrate there.
yeah, it really is. And a former student of mine, Bobby Wilson, will be there too as MC, I do believe.
Yeah,
So
he's MCing, and I see he's doing a couple of MC gigs while he's here.
yeah, he did one at the Indian Center with I believe it was the food. They were just at your market too. They did a thing on Sunday, and
Yeah, Dream Wild Health.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do their native food tasting event, which is so very popular. So, and Bobby Wilson was emceeing for that.
Well, and if people aren't aware who Bobby Wilson is, he's a writer, comedian, a 1491er, also Reservation Dogs writer, and he also was he acted in one of the series. I remember he owned a head shop, and also he was with Rutherford Falls. He was a regular on Rutherford Falls.
He was a writer there as well, and he's very funny, very talented, super successful. And one of the things I really am always impressed by with Bobby Wilson is how respectful he is to people, and respectful he is to us elders, Robert, and that amazes me. And something I will never forget about him is that he was actually born in a house in the Phillips area. And he's probably one of the youngest people that I've ever met that had a home birth. But and so folks who aren't from Minneapolis will know Phillips area is kind of the core of the Native community as well. So I just think that's fascinating.
Well, if you have the capacity, I'd love to have you join me, and we can wrangle in some people on that day. I know you'll be busy shaking hands and stuff, but we'll start at 5, and people will be rolling in about the time we go live. So just throwing that out there. No, if you're busy, put your tux on and things like that. I understand, but
I'm going to be busy eating. That
doesn't happen till 7, though.
No, I would love to be on, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great room to work, and I just love that in our community we have rooms to work, right? And so I'm really looking forward to it.
That's a good point. That's
right. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago we really didn't have it, right? We didn't have that place to see and be seen and connect with community leadership and things. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's I'm just taking pause on that. That's exactly right. Jeez.
Oh yeah. Well, you'll know this back in the day. So folks who are familiar with the American Indian Culture Corridor on East Franklin Avenue will be familiar with a restaurant called Maria's. Maria is an Ecuadorian immigrant, and it opened up as this little tiny one storefront restaurant. Now it's expanded to several storefronts. It's in the Ancient Traders building, a native-owned building. And when it opened, I was in politics. I was a Minneapolis City Council member, and that became my go-to place to meet with folks and to schedule breakfast or lunch meetings. Yeah. And it's just a wonderful success story. When it first opened, East Franklin was kind of rough. And I remember the legendary tales of Maria's staff having to literally fight their way into work in the mornings. There's some of the criminal elements that were hanging out there. But I loved it from the beginning because it became a go-to spot for a lot of politicians or public people. And I was like, dang, here in Phillips, we didn't used to have a place to sort of see and be seen. And, now we do. And now we have several. But back then it was really a new feeling. And I'm so proud of our community and our neighborhoods that we produced a place like that, and people clamor to be there, right? So
yeah, you're absolutely right. What's interesting too, I was able to, because I was going out to Eden Prairie where the AM 950 is, after heading out there, got to pass Maria's, but also before that, with the Native American Community Clinic. That place is hopping right now. Jeez.
Right. So another one of our legacy organizations, Native American Community Clinic, they are in process of constructing an incredible new facility, 6 stories, 2 stories of services, and then 4 stories of housing, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a big deal. I mean, this is like skyscraper kind of construction, concrete construction. It's sort of a disruption. There's no parking anywhere around the area, but man, it's a huge enhancement to the community, to the American Indian Cultural Corridor. And it's one of about half a dozen major projects that are either in process or have recently been completed, like the American Indian Center, or planned right in the Native community, Native-led projects. And so this is exciting. This is growth. This is, how I view it. And again, being an elder, I just turned 65 this last summer, and we were given such gifts from our elders and ancestors that founded American Indian movement, and this density of Native organizations and services and presence along East Franklin Avenue in that area of American Indian Cultural Corridor. And so I'm concerned about what we do with this legacy, right? And so I really feel it being kind of in this, generational trajectory, and just to see these things building on what was given to us by our recent ancestors. I feel like, we're doing them proud, right? This is what we should be doing, and so it's very gratifying to see.
Well, we have more to talk about with the Avenue and what's going on with Native American Community Development Institute. So I'm really happy that we started out in a good, positive vibe here, because we got to get later on in the show talking the trenches, and I'm so happy that you could be with us.
My pleasure.
For a full hour, Robert. And I saw what you were doing last week, and my daughter was waiting tables on the mayor at the same event that you were at. So that was
right. Dinner du Nord.
Yes, that was very cool. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI. Every Thursday now through October. Discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot. We are with Robert Lilligren. It's the Robert Show. The only person missing is Bob Blake from Red Lake.
We'll have to have him on next week.
Yeah, we'll have to change the name of the show. Hey, and you're CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. And yeah, a lot going on the Avenue, too, and a lot of positive things.
A lot. And one thing I'd love to talk about is, I don't know if you caught this, but this week on Good Morning America, they featured the Red Bears, which is a youth program.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Somebody posted it. Yes.
Yeah. So this is an incredible youth athletics program. There's a really amazing community leader, Muckwa Roberts, who kind of reinvigorated the whole program. And so it's multiple sports, football, basketball, and he's really rebuilt the whole program from the ground up. And it was it's inspiring, seeing Southside Red Bears, they call them. And our organization, NACDI, supports them by being their fiscal agent, and which is great, but those guys are just doing it. And so they were featured on Good Morning America. They were presented a $10,000 contribution and one of those great big checks on the air. And knowing Muckwa and the incredible work he does in the community, he can go to a lot with $10,000. And so it was just good to honor Muckwa, to honor our youth that participate, and we know what the outcomes, what improved outcomes we see when our youth are participating in programs like the Southside Red Bears.
Yeah, wow, really good point. I'm really glad you brought that up too. I got to get somebody on to talk about that. Really, it's amazing the good things that are happening and in Indian country, despite what's happening nationally, and it's just an amazing time we're living in. And you know, we'll talk about that in a little bit after you have any more great things to talk about. I know you had a great update on, we've talked about it a couple times, where you have that great magazine with all the Native businesses. And
businesses and services. We call it the Resource Guide, the Community Resource Guide. And we just published a new version of it very recently. It's online as well at our website, NACDI.org, NACDI.org. And so we launched the online version first. We just recently released the print version. And we had an event at the Minneapolis American Indian Center last Friday, a little reception. And I mean, dozens, scores, maybe hundreds of people came and took a lot of copies of it. And it's as comprehensive as we can make it. It has services, health services, housing. It has businesses. On the back of it, there's a QR code where you can upload your business information, which you can put on the website right away, the online version. We can put in the next print version. And it's just, NACDI produced one of these about 12 years ago. Wasn't nearly as comprehensive or extensive as this one, or quite as beautiful. We have cover art from Jonathan Thunder, renowned artist, and people kept saying for years, even just very recently, they'd stop into our office and say, "Oh, do you have any of those guides left? Those resource guides from 12 years ago?" And we're like, "Yeah, no, the new one's coming out." And we were able to leverage funding from the state, the health department, from a local health provider, Alina. We were able to bring on permanent staff, M. Matson, and they just did a marvelous job on this and beefed up NACDI's storytelling, our communication, so we can tell our story, but the community story even more thoroughly. And so it's just been a home run. People are loving it. People stopped in at the event on Friday at the Indian Center and they were saying, "Oh, I'm so glad you did this again. I've missed this. We needed this thing," and people are really excited about it. They're taking cases of them to their own organizations and things. So, people are along the corridor. You can stop in just about anywhere, I'm sure, and they would have some out, or go online at NACDI.org and check out the resource guide.
Yeah, well, I saw them. They were out with the magazines at the coffee shop today. I saw them.
Nice.
They had a nice little setting there.
Nice.
That's excellent. So next week, too, you have an important job. I do believe it's the same day. It's the same day as
the gala.
Yeah, and it has to do with pickles.
Yep, and you'll be there too, right? So
Well,
we are
I found out that I didn't return an email, so I'm not on the
yeah, they run a tight ship there at Post Sisters Farmers Market.
I was surprised and sad, but I still get pickles.
You show up, right? So we're having we partner NACDI and Indian Health Board locally partner and hold our pickle off. It's a contest, a pickle contest, and I just love it. This is our 4th annual, I think it is, and
I think I've missed one.
Yeah, the first one was over at Little Earth, at their garden, their farm, and we kind of combine a little bit of politics, and voter registration and voter outreach. We invite candidates to be present. Where this is a municipal election year here in Minneapolis, and so there's categories: spicy, sweet, dill, and those are cucumber categories. And then there's the other pickle. So you can pickle other than cucumbers, and man, people really respond. They love it. So this will be. I'll be a judge. I thought you were going to be a judge. Too bad. Maybe next year. Respond to emails, Robert. And then, but it's fun and community comes together. We're actually going to block off the whole street out in front of NACDI on 15th Avenue there, and have a kind of a street fair. Make a street fair out of it. And our market manager, Destiny Jones, Whole Chunk Woman, really has amped it up a little. And then Indian Health Board's Cassandra Holmes as the key driver and organizer. And so it's going to be fun. And if folks are wondering about it, the NPR will be there as well. You'll be there. Media will be there. And NPR did a great story last year. Melissa Olson, native reporter at Minnesota Public Radio, did this great story, and there's this hilarious picture of me sniffing on one of the pickle entries there, getting the smell test. And so they're bringing a whole cadre of reporters this year, so it's going to be big.
Yes, it is going to be big, and it's exciting, and people will be able to taste the pickles too. So it's not just the judges, and that's what I like, is to get a little bit of everything.
Right, and we're doing it in a much more sort of orderly and hygienic way to get the tasting out there, and people are delivering their pickles early. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. So I encourage people. That's next Thursday, 11 to 3, right in front of our building, the yellow building with powwow grounds and All My Relations Arts, and the street will be blocked out. There'll be music and things. So yeah, come on down. And then another very cool thing. What's that?
No, I said go ahead. I was going to interrupt you.
Oh, all right. No, so NACDI is also sponsoring a short film festival this Saturday, 6:30 to 9:30 at All My Relations Arts Gallery. Oh, I think that's where it is. I shouldn't be telling people if I don't. Yep.
I saw some of the names of the short films, and Ajawak, who was in he's a prominent actor and director and filmmaker, and he was in Iron Horse. I think was it called Iron Horse or Indian Horse? Indian Horse.
Yeah,
you can see on Netflix. He's got a movie, and I saw that.
He's got a movie in there. It's called The Comedian. He does Ajwak's. Former NACDI staffer Elizabeth Day has a short in there called How the Bear Got a Short Tail. But there's 6 films, and so this is the first time we've done this in our All My Relations Arts Gallery. It's the brainchild of our gallery program director, Juliana Enright. And so she just took this and ran with it, and it's really going to be something.
Well, what I'm really excited, we got like, let me check the clock here. We only have like a minute or two left. That we haven't talked any politics. We've just talked about joy, and I really, really like that. And one of the things too, I was talking to somebody who's not from here, kind of about, you know, natives really stepping forward the last couple decades, and there's things that we're doing, there's things that are happening. We have strong economic development. We have all these things that weren't there at one time, and we should be proud, and here in the Twin Cities should be really proud of what's happening, you know, on the culture corridor, but also all over the Twin Cities and the state.
And the state and the country of the world. I just had a conversation today with a new NACDI board member, brilliant young emerging Native leader, and I was saying to her, we were having this conversation about how with all the troubles in the world and all the damage we've done to the world, I think Indigenous solutions are the solutions. Right. And so now that's starting to percolate up. And as our former gallery director, Rory Wakemup, used to say, everyone's Indigenous from somewhere. It's just the amount of time it's been since you were colonized. Right. So how do we all find our way back to this indigeneity, which is inherent in all of us, really?
Exactly. And you and I have talked about that, too. And I've heard the great speaker, John Trudell, talk about that, too, that, you know, is that we've all from a tribe at one time and another. If you look far back into we're the last ones to hold on, though. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Segment 3 is coming up, and we've been positive the whole time. I am digging this. This is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis.
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
So an atheist, a Christian, and a Buddhist walk into a church. There's no punchline. That's just what happens every Sunday at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. Join us for Sundays Reimagined or live stream at firstunitarian.org. Looking for community without doctrine? Questions without judgment? Think outside the pew. Join us for Sundays Reimagined at First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis or live stream at firstunitarian.org.
Hi, Penny here from Nightingale in Minneapolis. Exciting news! During the warmer months, we're extending our charm to the patio. Imagine savoring your favorite dishes outside, surrounded by the lively energy of South Minneapolis near 26th and Lyndale. And guess what? Nightingale's patio is not just a dining space, it's also dog-friendly. Craft cocktails, curated wines, and half-price bottles of wine on Mondays are still part of the deal. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a full menu until midnight. Join us at Nightingale where good times and great flavors come together.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
Hey, it's Tom. There's a war being waged on clean energy. A bill in Congress could eliminate the 30% federal tax credit for solar by the end of 2025. And once it's gone, it may never come back. Fossil fuel giants and their MAGA friends in Washington want to kill green energy. But you can fight back. Going solar with all energy solar isn't just smart, it's a form of resistance. You choose where your money goes, not to utility companies, not to fossil fuel billionaires, but toward clean, renewable power for your home. A system from All Energy Solar works in Minnesota year-round because it runs on sunlight, not heat. So even in the dead of winter, you're generating electricity. And All Energy Solar helps you save with every rebate and incentive available. This is the moment to act. Waiting means risking with this tax credit and giving the upper hand to MAGA Republicans. So get your free consultation today at allenergysolar.com and take back your power.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for showers and storms tonight with a low around 65. Friday, more thunderstorms with a high near 71. And Saturday, partly cloudy with a high near 72. Savor the excellence at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Elevate your taste buds with their range of sandwiches from the savory Philly steak to tempting turkey bacon avocado. Explore crispy chicken, fish, brisket, and pulled pork options. Check out mavericksbeef.com or visit them off Lexington and Roseville.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone, and we want Lieutenant Governor to be our next senator. I appreciate her doing that. I corralled her, Robert, at the fair, probably a little before you saw her. I had to ask her to do that, and she had no problem. She's done bumpers for us over the years and been on the show many times. And
a lot. Well, for folks who don't know, Peggy Flanagan is our current lieutenant governor. She's my whiter sister, and she is running for the U.S. Senate for an open seat. And I think has a very, very good shot at winning.
Absolutely, I agree. Hey, I just got to say this. I didn't see you yesterday. I was at the elder picnic, and oh my God, I've never seen so many elders. Oh, wow.
I heard it was great. And NACDI was a sponsor of the event, along with a lot of others, but I just heard super positive things. I was actually up in Mille Lacs, in the Mille Lacs reservation. We had a 3-day staff retreat, and so I was busy planning for the next 3 years, so I had to miss it, but I heard it was just great.
Yeah, well, we saw the Make Voting a Tradition was there table. There was a couple NACDI, Native American Community Development Institute. I finally fell into that hole, Robert. Sorry. Geez.
And I think did you have one of the big coordinators was Maureen Hardy, and I think you had her on, didn't you, recently to talk about it?
Yeah. Well, I had her on like 3 times, and I had her on the day before it too. And it was funny. She wants to take your job. She was saying that she wants to host a show sometime during the show. And I went, okay.
I think she would be great.
Yeah. Well, I have to still beg you to do it when I go on vacation too. Because, we have that Brown Institute kind of vibe going here.
Yeah. We're professionally trained.
Yes. Well, I know you are. Well, we've tiptoed around. We've talked really positive here. Are we ready to talk about free speech and who does that apply to? And geez, what are you thinking? How are you feeling about things?
It's hard to tell who it applies to. It feels very much like McCarthyism, right? And people are afraid to say the wrong thing about and it all was kind of triggered by the murder of Charlie Kirk, right? And ironically, I mean, whether you agree with the guy or not, I don't, but he shouldn't have been murdered, and that's bad. But ironically, he was a major free speech advocate.
Yeah.
And now people are getting fired and canceled for just saying anything critical about him, and so it's kind of the opposite of free speech. And of course, the GOP and the MAGA folks were the biggest voices against cancel culture when they felt they were the ones being canceled. Now they're just canceling everyone. And, Jimmy Kimmel is taken off the air temporarily. I did just hear, just before I came on, that Jon Stewart is going to be hosting on The Daily Show tonight in response to this. So I'm sure he's going to be red hot. So I'll be watching that tonight for sure. But it's just crazy. People are losing their jobs in any realm, media, education, for saying anything critical about this person.
Yeah. Well, we have people out there that are really stepping up in saying things like, the things that you're doing are illegal, and we have a midterm coming up in less than a year, and you better lawyer up. And I appreciate that kind of talk, because this is just outright illegal, ridiculous, and lying. And the 35% MAGA people are digging it, and they don't care. But we know that hopefully there'll be things going down with these people that are doing this. I mean, he's hired so many incompetent people. Did you see the FBI? The person, the head of FBI, has never been in the FBI. He doesn't know what's going on. He's a podcaster. Doesn't he have a radio show like you and I? He's a podcaster.
He's a lowly podcaster.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's clear to everyone that this president's objective was not to run a government. It was to destroy democracy, destroy a government. So you strategically put these incompetent people in place, and they're shredding federal institutions. And I'm a reform guy. Change is good, but this is harming people. And it's this prevailing attitude that as long as it's not harming me, or as long as it's not harming people harming people like me, it's okay, right? And it's not okay. And there's this odd mentality going through, this MAGA mentality where, sort of white supremacy, it benefits me, people voting against their own self-interest, but just to keep things out from other people from getting things, right?
Well, I just can't, and I don't know. We're a child of the '60s and teen of the '70s, and I don't remember. And I could be wrong, during the Vietnam War or during 1968 when all hell broke loose, similar to this. If the mainstream media was so complicit, I don't remember that or know that or old enough to know that.
Right. It seemed like, and I'm with you, who knows, that wasn't my focus back then, kind of where's the next party was more my focus at the time. But it does seem like there was at least attempt to be balanced in news reporting. And, I mean, there's always a political sort of leaning connected to periodicals or TV stations, but it seemed like there's an effort to show both sides. It was an effort to respect different opinions, and that's that's not how it is now, right? It's how do I shred my perceived enemy?
Well, that's even in sports. If you listen to the sports people now, they're just yelling into the screen. I just don't buy in both sides do it. I just don't buy in that, and that's what the media now is talking about every chance they get. And I don't know if it's because they're fearful of getting canceled or what, but Grossum, my goodness.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, risk it, right? I respect people who have big platforms like Jimmy Kimmel or like a Stephen Colbert or someone like that. They just went for it, and they're suffering consequences because of it, but at least they did it, right?
Right.
And then a lot is getting kind of sparked here locally, and we had a horrible mass shooting at a Catholic church and school here just a few weeks back, and children died, and elders died, and so that has sparked more sort of vitriolic back and forth, and and then locally we had a series of mass shootings so far, no fatalities, but just a few days apart, all around the Native community, some involving the Native community. There was a mass shooting where 5 people were shot, and one where 8 people were shot near a homeless encampment, and it just seems to be heating up and ramping up, more than what I would like to see, which is cooling down and calming down.
Yeah. Well, again, for me, I do not have any problem with hunters. I don't have a problem, with fishermen or any of that stuff. But when you have these kind of guns and they keep on talking about its mental health and things like that, well, first thing it's the guns.
Right.
And we need to talk about that. And, I can't, and I don't know if we talked about this, Robert, but I can't believe how many times I saw the murder of Charlie Kirk on the internet.
Right.
And I mean, it just popped up. I wasn't even looking for it. And 20 years after Kennedy was assassinated, I mean, then we saw the Zakuta films. It's just too much.
It is too much. And I have managed to not see it. I can't watch that kind of stuff. But, and he was one guy, again, whether you agreed with him or not, he shouldn't have been murdered. But he was a huge gun advocate. He was a provocateur, right? He said things deliberately to anger people. And so he kind of lived his values and died his values, I guess. But there have been other more heinous crimes going on in the shadow of this Charlie Kirk murder, and no one's paying attention to those, and so it's kind of sucking the oxygen out of our news culture, I guess. And then with all the people being canceled, academics being fired, people being fired from their jobs for criticizing,
right?
It's not where I thought we would be in 2025.
No, I mean, really good point. And I want to tiptoe around more of this, but I got to bring up this whole Republican infatuation against transgenders. They have to bring this up on everything.
Right.
Now it's reported that his roommate, the shooter's roommate, isn't even transgender. That was just put out there. And all I have to say is this: when it comes to being transgender, is like Caitlyn Jenner's transgender and she's Republican. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
They're people. For goodness sakes. I mean,
they're all people, right? And it's it's a small percentage of our population. It's who really cares what someone else's gender expression is, and the fact that our transgender brothers and sisters, relatives, are being so vilified right now. It's shocking. And it makes me wonder what goes on in your head to feel like someone else's gender expression is threatening you, right? Why are you so insecure in your own gender identity that someone who has a different expression is threatening? I just don't get it. I mean, we need that enemy, right? They need that enemy to organize around. But like the whole transgender athletes, I can't remember what the percentage of college athletes are transgender, but it's something like 0.003%, right? So this is what we're going to be all bent out of shape about, is this minuscule minority of athletes. I don't get it.
I know. I don't get it. And it's the boogeyman. We had to have boogeymans when they're coming at us, and this is the boogie person. And as you know, Robert, and I'm not a big, I'm not a cultural expert when it comes to being Native, but transgender and Two-Spirit were the leaders of our tribes, and they could do everything. And that's something I always want to bring up and remind people out there, that they were revered as Native Americans.
Well, I love it, and I love being part of this contemporary culture that we're defining, right? What does it mean to be Indigenous in the 21st century? And how often I'm in groups with my Two-Spirit brothers and sisters who are really assuming these historical sort of cultural roles: educators, carers, governance, artists. It really satisfies something in me.
Well, hey, thanks, Robert. We got another segment here. This is Native Roots Radio. We're with our friend Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. And so happy that you can be with us for another segment and wrap this show up. Thank you so much. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI. Every Thursday now through October, discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are here with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and we're just wrapping it up here. I really appreciate these conversations, and you know, I'm so happy we started out the way we did too, because there are so many good things happening in our community despite what's happening around us, and that's something I think is really Native.
I agree. And, you know, we used to talk a lot, and we still do, about our famous resilience, but this is beyond resilient, right? This is defining our own futures, right? Defining what culture means to us, what life means to us here. And in all this depressing news, it feels really good here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing a live broadcast with you. I hope that'll be okay with you. I put you on the spot here on live radio.
Yeah, of course. This is at the Indian Center 50th Anniversary Gala, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, cool. No, I'm looking forward to it, of course.
That's very cool. And just to celebrate that, and like you said, 50 years, there's so much blood, sweat, and tears when it came to visualizing this and then having it, and then now just recently remodeling it. I mean, visionary people are amongst us.
Right. And there's a lot of folks in the community, friends and colleagues, and they were kids in the Indian Center, right? And our good friend Carrie Day Aspinwall, she said, I was one of the first people, in the door once it finally opened. And
yeah,
renowned architect, Native architect Sam Olbixson, who was the architect on that project and on a bunch of projects all around the American Indian Culture Corridor. But he was a kid, took part in their programs, and it's just really produced a lot of really amazing results, a lot of really amazing people. So you just wonder, with the growth of the programming, the expansion of the cultural practices and programming there, what the next generations are going to accomplish.
Absolutely. And just, I get chills when I think about people like Clyde and Belcourt, who was American Indian Movement, one of the founders, and just those people that have had vision and didn't say no. And now we're reaping a lot of the benefits because of, we always talk about the 7 generations before and after us.
Right. And so now I consider that whole generation the founders here, right? And we have this just wonderful density of the fruits of their labors, the Native organizations, Native people here in Minneapolis, and Native engagement, Native activism and advocacy, and we're losing a lot of them now, right? They're our ancestors now. And so I think it's important for everyone along the generational trajectory, but especially those of us who we're closer in age to them and kind of remember what their transformation, the transformation of their work here, and that we don't squander this. If there's something that keeps me up at night, it's that. Are we squandering these gifts? I don't think that we are, but I think it's very important that we continue to really be serious about how we build on their successes.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that your organization does well, and I think a lot of other organizations try to do, is really be welcoming for all our Native brothers and sisters. Because we've talked about this before, Robert. We have, I believe, I think it was
150.
Yeah, tribes that are represented here, in 75,000 Native Americans just in Minneapolis, the urban Minneapolis. And I know we're here in St. Paul hiding out too.
Right. And yeah, it's an amazingly rich and complicated community. And so what's our relationship to the outside world, to our nations, to the outside governments, but what's our relationship to each other look like? And I'm thrilled to work at a place like NACDI. I love what you said, Robert, and Chimigwech, about us being welcoming. That was a theme that really percolated up at our recent 3-day staff strategic planning retreat. The sense that we're a welcoming organization, and we try to be a welcoming community. And other kinds of work here. We have a 50-plus-year-old leadership forum called the Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors, MUD, MUID. I'm currently the chair of MUD, and we kind of grapple with this. What kind of urban Indian community are we? There's 150 kind of choices here, right? And we're on Dakota land, and how does that influence? And I'm going to share this. I was not planning to, but we were having this conversation just earlier this week in this 3-day NACDI staff strategic planning retreat. And we were talking about, and I think about our community this way, it's international, right? We have 150 nations represented in our metropolitan area. And so that's international. And and I often think of the relationship between those of us who live in cities and those of us who live on reservations. And there's dynamic there, right? And how we can better join forces. And as we're having this conversation, one of the staff members was leading it about our international community. I started to think, well, that's a more open and welcoming term than saying urban Indian or reservation Indian, right? We're an international community. And so I've been thinking a lot about that just in the last few days. And I think I'm going to start using different vocabulary. And I always describe myself as a 3rd-generation Minneapolis urban Indian, right? But I'm really part of an international community that exists in Minneapolis. So I don't know. That's really raw thinking, and I wasn't planning on talking about it tonight, but it's really come forward in my mind.
I think I have to agree with you now that you bring it up. Standing Rock, there was indigenous communities from all over the world putting up their flags each time they visited. And I was there, and Australia was there giving a flag and doing a ceremony. I like how you're thinking about that.
Yeah. So again, it's new thinking for me. Standing Rock was such a pivotal point in, I think, modern culture, and certainly in the approach that I take to my work. And so I'm glad that you brought that up. I always pinpoint when I'm talking, especially to non-Native audiences, the founding of AIM, and Standing Rock, and these are pivotal points for me.
Yeah, me too. That's amazing. We got a couple minutes left. I guess what I want to end up talking a little bit to you about, because of your background, but also you're a public figure too in the community, and people know you all around. How do we protect our soul, and well, first of all, let me back up before you answer that. Next meeting you have with your staff, I got to get the combination to the door. No, I'm just kidding.
Never.
But how do we protect our soul here in these dark days?
Well, I don't have all the answers here, but this was another huge topic of conversation. at our recent retreat, and we're really elevating that. And at NACDI, we operate with an Indigenous approach where we care for ourselves first, then our families, then our community, our organization. And it's taken a while to really embrace that. And so now, what does self-care look like? And we're looking to culture, traditional practices, elders, supporting each other's, but really caring for ourselves. And it's sort of a lot of the icky stuff that's been happening here in the Twin Cities, and then nationally, these dark times are really having an impact on people, and you can see that in relationships with each other. But we're really going to integrate and programatize more time with elders, cultural practices. And NACDI is the smudge capital of the cultural corridor. People come to our office to smudge. We smudge a lot.
That's like my classroom. We did it before it was legal when I was teaching in St. Paul Public Schools. Hey, Robert, thank you so much for spending this whole hour with me. I really appreciate it. And great to see you, and keep up the great work. And I'm just, pleased to call you a friend. I really appreciate it.
I'm back at you. I appreciate it. And yeah, take care. We'll see you soon. Giggle Abend.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air.